I gotta go look at my Rev shelf. Let's get all my Rev stuff on it now.
You know,
what did I buy?
I feel like you should take a picture of your Rev shelf to show everybody what you have, because it is insane. We were talking about this on Friday, man. You're going to empty the cellar, and then you just added to it.
Yep.
I'm not mad. This week we drink Revolution Brewing's VSOJ barrel-aged barley wine. This is episode 58 of the Malting Hour.
What's the hats on the house guy? Yeast and speeds. This the Malting Hour where we talk about our drink and tell you what we think every other week. And if we get drunk, well, we might slur our speech. Got the gift of gab, the friends you wish you had. Join us for a drink, join us for a laugh. Time is never wasted, where you getting wasted. The Malting Hour here, people take your places. People take your places. People take your home.
Gather round, everybody. Take your places. It's the Malting Hour. Here we are.
I forgot. I gotta.
Yeah, no. You just let it keep riding. You know, that's good. It sounds like a remix in the headphones. It sounds good because I end up editing in the audio.
Yeah,
it's the biggest pain in the ass actually to do the audio of the theme song into what we record. Ooh, there it is. That's a crack. And what's that crack? Well, here in Chicago, it's VSOJ weekend, which means it's, Revolution's VSOJ release, which is very special old jacket barley wine aged in bourbon barrels, right? Is it bourbon barrels? I think so. Yes, it is. It is.
For 2 years.
It's a cuvee of English barley wines aged between 2 and 4 years. I'm reading this from just their regular website. What I should have done before we do get into that, I'm one of the hosts, Tony Golick, joined always with
Brandon Winninger,
and not appearing this evening, Clark Fettridge. He is a little sleepy, and we are doing this last minute because that's how we roll. We had something planned and we said screw it, this is we're gonna do this instead because it was a big
it's VSOJ weekend.
Yeah, man, and everyone's all excited about it. I'm excited about it. Brandon, were you excited about it?
Yeah, I just smelt it and I'm like, that is nice.
That means you dealt it.
Yeah,
that's what the kids say. Whoever smelt it dealt it, right? Is that still a thing? I don't know. I don't care.
Yep, apparently so.
Yeah. Anyways, so for those who don't know, well, you guys know if you listen to this show because we talk about Revolution all the fucking time, and when you know that we're very big fans of all of their barrel aged beers. We've done episodes in the past where we've talked about beers. We've had John Crothers on and ABC when we did the Deep Woods last year. That was a lot of fun to do.
Totally.
Yeah. So now it's July 18th when this comes out, July 19th. They've done their release this weekend. VSOJ, as I said, was their very special old jacket. And the last time this was released, if I'm not mistaken, was 2018. So it's been a little bit. Yeah. So the actual description of it is a celebration of malt, oak, and patience. Very special old jacket, and in parentheses, straight jacket, because straight jackets, their barley wine, is a cuvee of English barley wines, each aged between 2 and 4 years in our favorite bourbon barrels. Lusciously sweet and colossally complex, VSOJ is equal parts refinement and excess. Normally Clark is on the ball with this, and I do not have this info. I am not sure what barrels were used, and I feel like a real loser for not having that information here in front of us. So, boy, like a real piece of shit on that one. Way to not be ready. That's what happens when you decide you're going to record something a couple hours before you're going to do it while you're eating dinner with your family. But yeah, let's get in. Let's get into this, man. By the way, thanks for dropping this off for me. I did
100%. You're welcome.
Yeah. I did get my hands on the other two releases, which were, what is it? The strawberry
supermassive cafe death, and what's the strawberry one?
Is it a strawberry jacket?
Yeah, strawberry jacket, which I did not get. So,
oh, you did not get it?
I did not.
Oh, look, now I've got 2 Rev beers I can share with you: the double VSOD and the strawberry straight jacket. Perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're not, that smell right off the Off the bat, what are you getting from this?
I'm getting barley wine. Totally, like it is that barley wine, like so the traditional like caramel, like malty hit to the face. And but I'm also getting a slight barrel to it. And that's the thing is like I don't know. Again, we don't know what barrel. So I'm looking at the Rev site too to see if it says what it is, and it just says aged in 2 to 4 years in bourbon barrels.
The same thing, yeah.
Oh man. So I don't get like what the barrels are, but I'm getting some of that undertones of bourbon. I'm getting that undertone of oakiness, but yeah, I'm getting what I would traditionally get from a barley wine, but it's a much thicker barley wine, I guess I would say.
Yeah, the aromas on it, excuse me, are very, it's boozy. It's like kind of, I want to say raisiny, pruny, even.
Raisin.
Vanilla. There's a sweetness to the aroma as well. Those are all kind of aromas you come to expect from a barley wine. I'm going to take a sip. Here we go.
Oh, is this your first sip? Okay, just to flavor profile.
Oh man, it is very, boy, it's hard to put into words. And for as much as, you know, we talk about Revolution on here, we don't gain anything by we're not blowing smoke up any brewery's ass, but Jesus Christ, this is probably one of the best barrel-aged barley wines, or barley wine at that I've ever had. It's really, it's nice and sweet. It's very sweet. It's not like, it doesn't put me off at all, because there is that barrel character that really, it tastes like a nice bourbon with like raisin and like more vanilla characteristics that I would not expect from just drinking bourbon, but it's warming as well. And right now, when you gave me the can, you dropped it off. Let's see, what, hour and 20 minutes ago, maybe an hour and 10 minutes ago. I threw it right. Yeah, roughly. I threw it right in the fridge. So it only chilled for about an hour. And then I cracked it open when you said we were going to hop on here. And so it's chilled. It's probably at a good temperature. It's not room temperature, but it is chilled. And from what Clark had said when he tried it, he said, you know, let it warm up because you're going to taste different layers to it.
Yeah. So point of contention, I have, so the temperature I gave it to you is the same temperature I had it at, roughly. So I've kept it in the back. Which at nowadays is about like 65 degrees.
Okay.
And that's the temperature. I pulled it out. I'm like, this is what I'm going to drink it at. This is what I want to know it at.
So you're probably a little bit warmer than where I'm at.
Yes. And I'm getting as it actually warms up even a little bit more, I'm getting some chocolate off of it. A little bit, like not a lot, but enough that complements the entire flavor profile. And I'm super excited about this. Like this, I'm glad I spent the money to get this.
Yeah,
because it's super enjoyable.
Yeah, it is definitely a pricey 4-pack, and you know, I tend to not spend as much money on barrel-aged beers in the summer. I now have to remember that, you know, it seems like Revolution is now doing more of the summer releases. They did one last year, and if I'm not mistaken, they did one before that as well, where they did summer release of 1 or 2 type of deep wood beers, or in the spring. So now I'm gonna have to save money for that, because you know, I save all my bourbon barrel aged money for November and December normally. You know, especially being in Chicago, it's very easy to get your hands on some really good barrel aged beers. But I will say this is you know, I really liked regular straight jacket. Do you have any regular straight jacket left around anywhere?
Yeah, I do.
You should try that sometime soon and see if you can, you know, pair that together, see what it's like. Yeah, it's funny. As I was thinking about it, I was like, oh man, really glad I got one more. Nope, I'm gonna have to drink it with you and Clark. Thanks, guys. Thanks for taking that other barrel-aged beer off my hand in exchange for this. I appreciate that. The price points aren't the same. I'm not going to say what beer it is, but I appreciate you accepting the gift in exchange for this, because I'm very excited about this beer. We were talking about it on Friday. We had a bottle share with Hip Hops and his friend Tony, and Myke joined us as well. We had a really fun time drinking a bunch of beers. There was even talks of maybe we were going to record it. Glad we didn't, because it was just way more fun.
Yeah,
just sitting around drinking and shooting the shit.
But eating pretzels and truffle popcorn. Yeah.
So many delicious snacks too. Thank you, Dan, or Danny or Daniel, whatever you want to call him.
Hip Hops. Don't reveal his identity.
Hey man, that was the whole discussion on the episode he was on.
Yeah, that's true.
So I called them all three. There was the talk of FOMO, fear of missing out, and when this was being released and I saw the prices for everything, I mean, it's $50 for a 4-pack. I mean, that's expensive, but in the 4-pack format, I don't have such a hard time accepting that that's what it is. I feel like you're getting your money's worth, especially with the Rev beers. The only beer that I didn't really care for the Deep Woods from last year was the cognac Mineshaft Gap, the cognac barrel beer. Just because I don't like cognac, and it was good. It was just too sweet for me. Everything else I really enjoyed. But we talked about the FOMO, and I did feel it a bit Friday, or maybe it was Thursday when we were in a group text with Clark about you guys picking up this beer. And I was like, I'm not getting it. I figured I was going to try it with you guys regardless. But it's nice to have, it's been nice getting these beers and splitting. Like, I'll split the 4-packs with Clark, which, by the way, Brandon, if you ever want to split a 4-pack, let me know. I can always switch sides of who I'm sharing 4-packs with. I just save a bit of money that way, because then I can drink one right away. And then, like with the Deep Woods, I saved a can from each, and then as I still have one left, and that's the double VSO, double VSOD that I'm saving to drink with you. So it was nice to do that. So I can do that with those beers, but with this one, I'm glad I'm trying it. I'll hopefully make my way to the tap room and have it on tap. I'm sure I'll have it again in the future, but man, I really wish I had the one more can to drink. But again, I've got 2 strawberry jackets and 2 super massive cafe deaths on hand. So I'm looking forward to those as well. So you've got this and super massive cafe death?
Correct.
We'll see how the night goes. Maybe we'll have some coffee beer later. I don't know. This is 15%, man.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. Okay. I didn't even pour the whole thing yet. Good.
Yeah. This is
15%.
Yeah, it's 15%, and it's smooth. It's smooth in the sense that it doesn't really taste like a 15% beer.
So that when he said that, I was like, that blew my mind. I'm like, this is 15%, because so that's the big thing with this beer is the barrel is not that present. All of the other sweetness comes through, and I don't want to say easy drinking because it's a barley wine, but it's like, it's a good sipper. And like, if
I feel like I get a lot of barrel in the back, like up front, I don't get a lot of barrel. Yeah. But again, I mean,
not enough to where I'm like, oh my God, this is a 15% beer. But
well, I mean, as far as flavor wise goes, I get barrel, like I said, in the back end. And when I get sweetness and then dark, fruit and vanilla, and then it's like, oh, bourbon. Like, to me, this is a very well done barrel aged beer, because like you said, you don't get a whole bunch, like, not that you don't get a whole bunch of barrel, but that that's not the main thing that stands out. I mean, there's barrel aged beer.
It's a very well balanced barrel aged beer.
There it is, well balanced. We need
and again,
it is. It really is. It really is.
I feel like that's an important note with a barley wine, because getting a well-balanced barley wine is important, because sometimes you'll get too much barrel or you'll get too much sweetness. This one, we're getting like a good amount of sweetness, and the barrel just kind of comes in at the end. And like, if somebody told me this was barrel aged when I first had it, I probably would have questioned it. Really? But as I keep drinking it, I know, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can get it. I'm getting the oakiness. I'm getting the barrelness in the back end. The more that I drink it, the more that it warms up too. So
yeah, it's something else, man. It really is. And right before we started recording, I said, I was looking at Untapped to see what everybody's just checking in. And the lowest I've seen so far, I'm scrolling through right now. I'm probably at. Oh, I hear a dog bark. You guys hear a dog barking? It's Jeff's dog. I'm through 20 reviews, and the lowest rating is 4.5. Everything else is 5 to 4.75, and it's more 5s and 4.75s than anything. And there is not a low rating. And although someone gave it a 4, ooh, boy. Actually, I'm gonna read
Clark.
No, but I am gonna read what this person wrote. Sorry, person, I won't say your name. This is a tough for me to rate. I think they meant to say this is a tough one for me to rate. This is a tough one for me to rate. I think I should have drank this first and worked my way up. Definitely a great beer, but maybe a little harsh compared to other fancier ones. Glad I got to try it either way since I missed out on the cans. Looks like he went and tried. This person tried it out at the actual tap room.
Yep.
But yeah, everybody seems to have given it really high rating, which I
agree with.
Oh, yeah. Someone else gave it. Said first sip was practically a stout, but time unlocked the malty and butterscotch goodness. The granddaddy of straight jacket. I could
butterscotch. That's a good one.
Yeah, there is that like almost candied like flavor to it. I think that's what I mean, like with the sweetness. Let's see. You know what? Clark checked it in. What did Clark say? Clark said the winner for sure. So many layers on this one. 4.75. So far, he's the only friend of mine that's checked it in. Interesting. Because he went on Friday to go pick up these beers, and he stopped at the tap room. He invited us, but we had the bottle share. He wasn't able to make it. He did do Supermassive Cafe Death the other day, and he says pretty easy drinking for 14%. Actually was expecting more coffee. He only gave it 4. Ooh. He also got to try some of the other good ones. Boss VSOJ, smooth and just enough barrel, as he puts it. And then XOJ, the extra old jacket, definitely has been in a barrel for a while. Hot, woody, in parentheses, very woody and interesting. So he was all over that. Oh man. But yeah, so I wish I had a straight jacket still to try, because just as the comparison, I do remember checking in my straight. Let's see. I might as well, while we're talking about it, I might as well look at because I remember straight jacket is one of my favorite barley wines. And I know it's barrel age,
but we've talked about that.
Yeah, and let's see, what did I do? Back on last June is the last time I checked one in. And that was the only time I checked it in. Jeez. I gave it 4. What? Oh boy, I gave it 4.
Yeah, so, you did.
Was there no straight jacket last year?
I don't think so.
No, there was.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it now. So that was the last time I had it. Interesting. I must not have checked in my second one then. Anyway, but yeah, the straight jacket's awesome. And then the Mineshaft Gaps I was talking about before is also a barley wine, but that was, it's aged in cognac barrels. So that to me was just a lot of sweetness that was just almost overpowering. I am looking forward to the strawberry jacket. You and I will drink that together, because they use, I believe they use a strawberry puree, maybe not with this one, but the second time they released it last year or a year or two ago, they did one batch that was just with strawberries or with the strawberry flavoring, whatever. And the next time they actually did like a strawberry puree.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that one's 14.2%. Goo. And then Supermassive Cafe Death. I remember having that last year. Did you get some of that last year as well?
I don't think so.
That one I did check in, and remembering sitting in my yard during the pandemic and everything being locked down, being a highlight of the summer for me, because it really is just a bunch of coffee. And so dark matter coffee. And if you're from Chicago, we're talking about. And if you're not from Chicago, sorry, you probably don't have access to dark matter.
I gotta go look at my my Rev shelf. Let's get all my Rev stuff on it now.
What
did I buy?
I feel like you should take a picture of your Rev shelf to show everybody what you have, because it is insane. We were talking about this on Friday, man. You're going to empty the cellar and then you just added to it.
Yep.
I'm not mad because I normally drink most of those with you, so thank you. Oh man,
well, I think that the podcast is the catalyst of like me just like, hey, bring stuff on, share
it. You know what? I'm gonna have to paying dues for this podcast. Jesus.
So, well,
I'm paying for SoundCloud each month. It doesn't really cover it.
Speaking of which, this VSOJ was just a podcast share. You will have another one when you come to watch my cats in a week or so.
Sick. Well, fantastic. You know what I'll do? Just like I like the way that this is working out. So far, for every beer that you've given me, just about, I've shared back with you, because you normally give me about 2 cans of something, especially with watching the cats. Yeah. So I still have the quad, the quad from Old Irving that we did.
Okay. Yeah.
I still have one of those left. I've got a 2019 prop left that I said I'm going to share with you because you brought me, which you'll probably drink the 2020 prop with me as well.
Yep.
VSOD, because of all the beers that you shared with me. Now I'll drink the strawberry jacket with you, and with you bestowing upon me one more VSOJ, I will for sure drink that with you as well. So thank you, my friend.
You're welcome, sir.
And some of these have already made it on the show, and who knows? Actually, all of those have made it on the show except for VSOD.
Yeah.
And because Strawberry Jacket, the first time was on our Christmas episode, our very first Christmas episode.
Oh yeah,
that was a good one. Clark brought it because it was red and green. Nice, Clark.
Video Clark, getting into the Christmas spirit with colors.
So I have to say that I'm really interested in trying the other variants that are on Tapped, and I'm hoping that they're still going to be on Tapped by next weekend, I should say. Yeah. Because I'm taking a little break this week. Got to give the old body a break, because the other variants of this that are on tap, as I was saying, is the Boss VSOJ, which is 2.5 years after filling these Whistle Pig Boss Hog Calvados, finishing barrels with sweet component barley wine. They've reemerged and with mind-bending oaky nuances and a silky mature malt structure, the likes of which we've not hitherto seen. That is an intense description, and I don't think it sounds great. Sounds great. So that's one of the variants of the straight jackets on. And the XOJ, which is the extra old jacket. This says batch 1539 has been a component in each iteration of VSOJ since its inception on draft in 2017. Experience now its lean, lumber-laden swan song, a full 5 years in the making. Subtle, hazy with American oak tannin and fully oxidized, evaporatively concentrated malt sugars. This is the most boldly flavorful English barley wine we've ever produced. Good night, sweet prince. I think we have to go and try XOJ.
Yeah. 100%.
It sounds insane. It's a little bit higher in alcohol, obviously, because some of it has evaporated. So now
let's go right now.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
Yeah. See you guys. Thanks. It's 16.3% for XOJ. I might need to break my no drinking this week and go and get a little pour of XOJ. I'll let you know when I do it, and you just come with me.
Noted.
So, absolutely.
I'm noting that you're going to note that.
Yeah, noting. We'll note it. I will note it in the podcast notes here that's what's going to happen. Oh man, yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed with this. I'm never not impressed with the Revolution Deep Woods beers. They're just so great, man.
Yeah, well, we didn't read the back. It says a celebration of malt, oak, and patience. Very special old straight jacket is a cuvee of English barley wine aged between 2 and 4 years in our favorite bourbon barrels. Doesn't say which ones. Lusciously sweet and colossally complex, VSOJ is equal parts refinement and excess. Enjoy and serve. Enjoy now or store cold.
Yes, we actually did read that. That was the description I read from the website.
Oh yeah, I didn't know you actually. I thought you read
No,
part of it, and I was like, I don't know, it was the whole thing.
The only
Anyways,
man, the only difference was that it said drink now, drink fresh, or store cold for
cut
later
that whole
consumption. Yeah, but yeah, you don't need to put that on the website. Yeah, I am now officially halfway through the can here, and I'm feeling it. I'm definitely feeling it now inside of me. This is delicious, man. This is really good. Thank you for sharing it with me, dude.
Of course, man.
You know, since this is I wanted to. I was thinking about talking, and maybe I'm putting you on the spot. And if you need time to find some information, or if you think of things off the top of your head, I thought about doing an episode like this. But I figured since we're sitting around here, we're not powering through this beer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was thinking maybe Supermassive Cafe Death later on, but maybe later on if we're just hanging out, not recording.
Yeah.
So far this year, we're halfway through the year, which blows my mind. The fact that August is 2 weeks away from the time of this release, August 2021. Are there any beers that have stood out to you? As far as like, man, I'm really glad this was a beer I got to drink, or this has been one of my favorite beers of the year. And it doesn't even have to be anything like, you don't have to dig back from January, but just anything you can think of off the top of the dome.
I'll be a dick and be like, dude, we drink a King Henry. That was like my crowning beer of the year.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, that's hard.
I can't get past that. But
you don't blame me.
There's been some good ones. I'm trying to think of what else we drink. And just like enjoyable beers.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, dude, so like we've had, it was this year, like Rheingeist, like their IPA.
Oh yeah, dude.
Truth like having
IPA.
that this year, like just introducing that into my life was like
the best.
Phenomenal. I love that beer. And like same thing with like, we talked to Brickstone, we had their APA, and like their APA has also been IPA. Kind of like a staple.
And their milkshake IPA was fantastic.
Oh yeah. I mean,
which I think both you and Clark reminded me of recently. Maybe we were talking about, I don't know if it was an episode or just us shooting the shit one day that we were talking about milkshake IPAs, and I was like, yeah, I still really haven't had one. I think there's a couple. And then somebody said, well, what about the Brickstone? And we all agreed that I mean, we had a side text during the episode on how fucking good that beer was. Yeah. Because we didn't want to interrupt him.
Yeah. And it sounds weird going back to like, oh, you're just naming beers you've drank through the podcast, but most beers I drink end up on the podcast. So
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and I will say this,
but Truth was the first time I had it on the podcast, and it was amazing. And I still grab it when I can see it. So
yeah, I bought it a few times already this year. One thing I haven't bought, which I think I'd like to because there's cases of it. I think the next time we have a summer backyard thing, whether by you or by me or by Clark, I want to get a case of Brickstone's APA because now they're in 12 packs, man.
Oh yeah,
which is awesome. And the APA is just, I mean, that's a beer you consider on. I mean, I love pale ales. We've talked about it numerous times that pale ale is probably my favorite style. I just enjoy it. One of the beers for me in particular, we haven't talked about on the show, and the beers that you have mentioned, those do definitely stand out. But one I just had recently, I think I had it I had it last weekend, and I had one more left because cousin Kevin brought it over, and it is the peanut butter milk stout from Left Hand Brewing. And have you ever had that before? You ever had that one?
I may have.
Dude, that is it is the perfect, in my opinion, chocolate and peanut butter beer that I've probably ever had, mainly because it isn't super sweet. It wasn't like over the top. It was just a nice chocolate and peanut butter. That's it. It was really, really good. I really
You didn't have that when you were in Denver?
No.
Left hand.
Yeah, I know. No, I won't get too much into the my Colorado trip so much. I mean, I didn't have a chance to bring back beers because I didn't have any luggage to check in. But I was not very happy with the beers that I tried in Colorado. And I know I didn't try a whole bunch. I had maybe about 10 different beers from 5 different breweries while I was out there. Maybe it was just a miss. for what I had, but I will say, and I'm looking at their shirt right now, over yonder brewing in Golden, Colorado, right across the street from the Origin Hotel, right by the Red Rocks Amphitheater, which is why we were out there. They had some pretty fantastic beers, and I went for their over the top beers when I went there. And actually, I will put this beer on my list of one of my favorite beers so far this year, which was their, what was it called? I was just looking at it. It's a milkshake IPA, and I saw it on, which we were just talking about. I saw it on their menu, and I said, "Sell me on your milkshake IPA," because I don't like milkshake IPAs. And he said it's not overly sweet, and it's fruited by the hops. And the name of it's called Orange Whip from Over Yonder Brewing. It was awesome, and it looks like the design on the label is like the old popsicle, the actual popsicle boxes, the yellow boxes. It looks like the name and the lights around it, or whatever the hell you want to call it. That was also very, very good. And I think, nice. I'm leaving off King Henry because, as we said, that's just that gets, when it comes to the Maltese this year, that just gets an award in itself. We have to take that off of our number one because it is just number one. That's number one for sure, but we got to find other ones.
Yeah, no, I know
that another number one, but God, I can't even, I'm scrolling through some of my other beers here.
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't have to be beers you drink on the show, but like,
no, that's, I'm going through, I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that just like stood out to me. There was a lot. Les Bees was really good. The combination, the collaboration brew from Old Irving and Alarmist, where they basically blended Les Jus and Beezer. That was pretty freaking good. I mean, there's definitely been a handful. I'm looking through my check-ins. It's kind of funny because it's like, ooh, man, there's a lot of Hop Butcher. a lot of hazy IPAs for what I thought I wasn't going to be drinking as many hazy IPAs this year. Oh, you know what else was really good? The double, what I liked was a Dragon Milks Reserve double bourbon barrel aged out with Madagascar and Indonesian vanilla beans. That was pretty tasty, and I think you can still find it on the shelves at Benny's if you look around. That's pretty good. And for that, I mean, I think that's like 15 or 16%, and it's only a $15 or $17 4-pack. The other one that's standing out to me was the barrel aged cup of peanut butter coconut that you and I had a couple weeks back here at my house. You brought it over. That was another really, really tasty barrel aged beer. So I'm just kind of throwing those out there of some of my favorite beers that I've had this year. I just thought that would be kind of interesting. And if, Clark knows what his favorite beers are, well, let us know, Clark. Maybe on the next episode, we'll talk about it. Probably not. Oh, man. That's delicious. That's good, man. I still got a quarter of a glass left here.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good sipper. Totally.
Sticky. It's getting sticky now. I can keep drinking this, man.
Agreed.
Well, man, you got anything else you want to talk about in this one?
No, man. I appreciate Rev for putting out these beers and letting us buy them.
Thanks for making them.
Yeah, and and grateful for us for getting the chance to get them because like when they do it, there's a lot of people that just can't get them. So I'm glad that we did. So.
And this was the first time that they were having like the lines and everything. Like actual people could line up and get them. Before it was just all curbside pickup. As we know, there was a pandemic going around, which is still happening. Still is happening. As my mom told me, Florida makes up 40% of the new cases. So you stay cool, Florida. Keep doing what you're doing and ruining everybody's lives. Thank you. Stop going to Florida, everybody. Stop going to Florida. Hey, I've got a rant real quick. Can I give a quick rant?
Do it.
I haven't had a rant in a while. By that, I mean one episode. Here's my rant. Okay. If people don't like lagers, don't shit on them. Because if you don't like IPAs, they shouldn't shit on you. So if you have a particular style that you like, just drink it and shut the fuck up. I see a lot of posts and videos and stuff, people being like talking shit about people who are like, oh, lagers are gross, and like, how could you're stupid for thinking that, or how could you say that? Some people don't fucking like lagers. I gotta be honest. I wear this lager hat all the time for Firestone. The Firestone lager is delicious, and there are definitely lagers out there that I really like. But at the end of the day, as I've said, my favorite style is a pale ale. I don't hate lagers. It's just not my first go-to. So if you think, stop shitting on each other for different styles. If people don't like styles, just don't drink it. Just don't drink it. Don't shit on other people for not liking them. And don't pat yourself on the back too hard for the style that you drink. You come off as a jerk. That's my rant. That was my rant. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. At this point, I would put in an applause, but I'm not going to.
I don't even know if I have one to put in.
You have anything loaded up?
Nope.
There's no soundboard. That's right. Yeah, that's my one. That's my one and only rant for this episode. That's all I got.
No, but I 100% agree. Like,
if you don't like it, don't
like
drink it.
Yeah, and don't shit on it. Like, other people
don't
like it because obviously
fucking beer, man.
People like it.
It's fucking beer. That's all it is. It's not the end all be all of everybody's lives. As much as we all love beer and we like drinking it, and for us in particular, and other home brewers who listen, we enjoy making it. Great. It's like food, man. You know, I'm not going to shit on somebody for eating a style of food that I don't like.
No.
Eat what you like. Drink what you like. And that's it. Call it a day.
I know.
Don't be a dick.
Oh, God.
This aggression will not stand, man.
Exactly. Thank you. That's how each of my rants should end, I think, from now on.
I'm cool with that.
Cool, thanks, man. You just gotta remember. I just gotta let you know. Time for a rant. Fire up that soundboard. Oh man. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this week's episode. There it is. Happy VSOJ or VSOJ weekend. You can bet your bottom dollar that Supermassive Cafe Death and Strawberry Jackets will most likely make their way onto a future episode, whether it be an after the final pour or just featured throughout. And everybody in Chicago, if you haven't already got a chance to get it, I don't know what to fucking tell you, man. I don't know how much is left, and I don't know if anything is left.
Get what you can. Get what you can.
Go to the tap room and get what you can on tap. Those should probably still be around. And if there is any distribution, I'm sure it's incredibly limited to Vinny's and the other fine beer establishments that we have in our area. But Revolution,
Indeed.
Thank you. Keep making these delicious freaking beers. I don't think you guys will stop. And I'm already, this gets me excited for the Deep Woods series coming up, which sounds crazy to say, actually very soon. It's July. Jesus, we're like 4 months away from getting all the Deep Woods, which means we're going to find out what they are soon.
Yep.
Which rumor has it, we might be getting some stovepipe 19-ounce cans this year of
Straight Jacket?
Death Star. No, not Straight Jacket. Death Star. I mean, Straight Jacket would be insane, especially if it was VSOJ.
Yeah. Mind blown.
Double VSOD in 19-ounce cans. Unbelievable. Oh, God, I would die. But yeah, so I'm excited. I still have a mixed berry rye left. That's 2 years old now. Tried drinking it with Mike, but he wasn't having it that day. 4th of July. Sorry. Red, white, blue.
Thanks for the bucks.
On that note, Brandon, I love you, man.
Love you too much.
All right. See you guys later.
I'm gonna go plunge my palate with some Fist City.
Oh man, I'm on my way. I should have had you fill me up one of those little flip tops. By the way, I have a whole bunch of your old bottles.
I almost did.
Plastic. I have a bunch of nice. Good, because I almost gave you my oxidized son of juice, which we'll talk about on the next episode, because I'll give you guys some and you can tell me how it tastes like wet cardboard. It's hard to drink and I'm really pissed.
Bye.
This has been The Malting Hour. Be sure to follow us on all social media by searching The Malting Hour and at themaltinghour.com. You can also follow us on social media platforms individually. Brandon can be found on Instagram as BMDub81, on Twitter, BDub81, on Untapped, BDub Drinks Beer. Tony can be found on Instagram and Untapped under Asa Phelps Chicago. On Twitter, The Asa Phelps Chicago. Clark can be found as Clarkowski on all three. Be sure to subscribe, like, and rate the show on your preferred podcast listening platform. Until next time, cheers from all of us at the Malting Hour.